guys, what is up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another NoLimits2 tutorial. Today we'll be doing an aerodynamics custom looper, classic looper, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to be too crazy yet. In this tutorial, we will still be using some of the prefabricated elements, such as the corkscrews and the loops. And you may get to do your first custom element, which will be like a dive loop or an Immelman, but it'll be an arrow one. So those are pretty simple. They're not that hard to do. So this should be a fairly simple coaster to make. It shouldn't take long. This video should only be about 40 minutes long at most, hopefully. Excuse me, yawning a little bit. So I've taken some time off of the tutorial series because I remember the last one was just a classic Woody, and that's not really hard to do. It was just an out and back. But I really wanted to take the time to make sure I perfected myself with the software as much as I could before I continue on. So I'm pretty good at making aero loopers because they're pretty simple, and that's what I've been making. That was like my second coaster, I think, ever, was an aero looper on this thing. So I think it should be pretty easy. So let's get into it. Alright everyone, welcome back to the park that I just created called Aero Looper Tutorial, whatever it's called. So here's our little world. Now, some of you might want to try editing in a different way than I do. I always have this one big screen so I can see everything on a big screen. And I have to change my view as I need to go. But some people will go here in preferences and they'll change it to 4 views so they can have 4 screens at once. So basically if you do that, you can have 4. Oh, did I do it right? You have to... Okay, whatever. Anyway, you change it to 4, and then you hit save, and you have to hit you like preset it, and you pick what each corner is. But I'm keeping it as 1 because I like it as 1 because it's bigger and I can see more. So I'm keeping it like that. So yeah. Anyway, what you want to do is you of course want to go over to coaster, and you hit new coaster, give it a name. I'm just gonna call it we'll name it later. Looper. Cool. And then you want to go to coaster properties, style, find corkscrew coaster. We'll keep it, we'll make it rusted, it'll look old. Yeah. And you're gonna want to use center of rails because that's pretty close to what aerodynamics coasters look like. However, when I build my coasters, I'll always put them in heartline while I'm building them because it's easier to click on it, because when it's center of rails, the spine is in the center of the track. So I will do this while I'm building it, not spine, spline, spleen, whatever you want to call it. I will put it in heartline while I build it, so that way it's above it, above the track, so I can move it around the vertices easier. It's just easier for editing for me. And then when I'm done building it, I just have to remember to change it to center of rails. So I hit OK. Just cannot forget to change it back, or else it'll look way too smooth. So we're going to make a good old custom aero looper. So go ahead and start your vertices. Start off with them flat, I guess. Pay attention to your speed, because you have to do your manual speed here. So you maybe slope it by 1. You can see it's decent acceleration right there. So we'll do that for our station. You just want to, as usual, add in all these vertices. Nothing new here. Just making our station area. And I'm doing this for some people, my friends especially, who are like, yo, I can't make a coaster, help. So you gotta start off with the basics. You can't just join the game and expect to be able to go make a B&M invert or an Intamin hyper or Intamin megalite. You gotta start with the simple stuff. Classic Woodies, Twister Woodies, out and back Woodies, and aero loopers. Maybe aero hypers. Those are a little hard to do. That's probably what I would do after the aero looper, to be honest. So after you have your station, highlight it, hit make straight, just completely, so it's straight on top, straight on bottom, straight from every side. Then you want to select this arrow just so it knows you're clicking from that arrow. And you kind of want to make the little arrow pre-dip right before the pre-drop. So you just kind of do what I'm doing here. You don't have to follow me exactly. Of course, you never, ever, ever have to follow the tutorial exactly as I'm doing it. You can do a little bit different. I remember when I would watch the Codemasters tutorials, I would kind of follow what he was doing, but I would like make it my own a little bit, so I wouldn't be completely doing what he was doing, but it would be similar enough that I wouldn't like get lost or anything. You can always go in perspective and take a look to make sure you're not like making it look bad or anything. Make sure it looks pretty good. That's a little bit big, honestly, for an arrow pre-drop, so I'm going to make it smaller. I don't want it to be a big dip, I just want it to be a little dip, kinda, just for it to pick up a little bit of speed at the beginning. That's pretty good right there. Just a nice little dip. It's a classic. It seems like the newer arrows, like from the 80s and 90s, have bigger little dips, but like the really early arrows, they'll like take a very slight dip out of this station, and that's what we're going for right now. Kind of like not as young as Vortex, but not as old as Corkscrew, if you guys get what I mean. Just kind of a middle-aged arrow. Maybe early 80s, something like that. We'll probably make a custom looper, I think. That way we can get some good elements in there. So you got our little pre-drop dip, or whatever you want to call it. Just kind of move it away a little bit. And we'll do a turn, I think. Let's see, do we want to do left or right? I think we should do a right turn. That'd be kind of cool. So you don't have to really like worry about shaping all that much yet. Just kind of got to place the turn and then move it around a bit, you know, play around with it, all that crap, and straighten it out. Gotta have it nice and straight. Okay. And then you can play around with the turn after you get it all straight and stuff. So I'm gonna add a vertice in right here and maybe move it. Yeah, there we go. And then I am going to select these. So select the last straight one on each side. You're gonna hit depump. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a nice smooth turn. So you depump it, hit track, and hit insert vertices, and insert one between each one. And once again, select the ones that you selected before that aren't straight anymore. It was the last straight one, and you're gonna depump it one more time. And that way you have a nice smooth turn. Nice and smooth. There you go. What you can also do, you can lower it down a bit like this, which is what I'm gonna do. Because I forgot that you kind of want to have a slope so the train doesn't stop. So you can select that, make sure the track is sloping still. And I'm going to do that here as well. Alright, I'm actually going to make it dip one more time, kind of. I think that'd be cool to do. Nah, I'm not going to make it dip, I'm just going to make it nice and gradual. And then one last time, you can just select it all, make sure it comes out nice and smooth. And that is how you overly do a turn. It's not a very important turn, but I made it nice and smooth. There's no way it could be messed up at all. And it's just an arrow looper too, so like I was worrying about it way too much. So now you want to work on the turn. A lot of arrow loopers will have kind of a bank on these two kinds of turns. So I'm going to bank it. So you want to use strict, because arrows in general, their banking is not done smoothly. It just kind of jerks to the side anytime it banks. The track is not usually transitioned into a bank very smoothly, and it kind of feels awkward. So you want to over bank it more than it wants you to. It wanted me to do 10 degrees here by using the no lateral G-force. I'm gonna do 20, I think, because it's just entering the turn. We'll see what it wants me to do here. 16, I'm still gonna do 20. I'm gonna do 20 throughout this whole turn. Yeah. Okay. And pretty much after that little spot right here, I think we're ready to start doing the main lift. I believe that should be ready to go. Let's make this dip a little bigger. There we go. Now it'll go a little faster. Okay, cool. So we have our little stupid looking pre-lift here. It's pretty basic. It's not like amazing, but you know, whatever. So you want to go to your left or right. You can do the right side as well. Actually, I think I'm going to use the right side. Yeah. left or right works here. So you want to select that one vertice so it doesn't go all wild. We're going to start kind of placing the lift. So you just kind of want to start going up. Doesn't matter how steep you go. If you go up from this corner of the square to that corner of the square, that'll be 45 degrees. Don't really want to do that. Not airlift hills are not very steep. And we're going to make this probably around 150 feet, 140 feet. We'll go 150. Okay. Then we want to place some more vertices in there. Cool. I'm going to highlight all of these. Hit make straight. So we have a pretty good looking lift. Let's see. Boom. We're going to put this strict vertice right there. So we have a very, very good start to our aero looper. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So y'all just look around. Yes! Yo, guys, my phone's right in front of me, and I did like the what is a coaster YouTuber, and Coaster Frenzy just commented. He said, legendary. Hey, Coaster Frenzy, shout out to you. Yes, sir. I'm surprised he watched it. I didn't even know who I was, so that's cool. We're all bros, guys. We're just all bros. I think I wore a hood, and I think I was wearing earbuds, and I was like, yo, what's up, guys? It's Coaster Frenzy, and we'll come back to another reaction video. Something like that. Anyway, at the top of the lift, we are going to make a little pre-drop, because it's a looper, and they do that. So, you gotta do it. So, you just kind of want to make the top of your drop not too pointy. And then the pre-drop doesn't want to be too steep. But then again, it does. It's really complicated to do sometimes. You gotta play around with them carefully. These pre-drops can be very tricky. You have to take your time on them because it's very delicate. That looks pretty good, but we'll have to add vertices in a second. So you want to add one more straight piece of track before we start making a turn. So that right there is enough. Should be. And we're going to scooch that vertice over slightly, make sure it stays flat. Just highlight those three and hit make straight. Okay, so we're not going to worry about adding more vertices right here on the top yet. We'll fix the curve of the crest in a second. We're going to start making this turn first. So add vertex, and we're going to do a right turn. So just don't worry about the shaping of it too much, of course, at the beginning. Just get the vertices in there. It's not going to be a very big turn. It's going to be a pretty small turn, actually. And epic. Boom. It's not that hard, guys. Like, doing a turn's pretty simple. Just gotta make sure you take the time, you don't rush, get your vertices nice and straight. It's all about the little things. Always all about the little things. So, like before, you're gonna take the last straight one, this one, and highlight all of them in between. You're gonna hit depump. And then you're going to add in more vertices with the insert vertex. Because that is how you make a turn kind of smooth and keep its shape. Aero track is pretty smooth. It's just the banking that is not done smoothly. So you have to work on the banking. Now we're gonna work on this little part of the hill. So left or right hand view. I'm gonna go left now, I think. Yeah. So grab your vertices and place them at the top of the lift. And now we can just depump pretty much this entire thing, except for these last two vertices. So unselect those two. And then just watch what it does. It's going to just slightly smooth out everything. It's going to make the entire little area up here just slightly smoother than it was before. Boom. That little change could have done a lot. Everything looks a lot smoother now. And before I forget, we're going to go ahead and put this station on. So go ahead and hit select type separator or add type separator. go ahead and put your station on, and we'll put the chain lift on as well while we're at it. And I believe we have 6 cars selected. I want to have 7 cars a train. So now we have 7 cars a train. And I'm being mentioned in my story on Instagram a lot right now. People like this video for some reason. I thought the what is a coaster YouTuber, I thought that was a pretty poorly made video. I wanted to spend more time on that and make it a higher quality video. However, I really just needed to get a good video out. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to upload it now at what it's at. And hopefully people don't get mad that it's such crappy quality. Because I guess you could say I made it bad on purpose at this point. So, yeah, we'll just go with that. So you want to name it station, so it actually shows up on your control panel. You want to unselect transport device. You do not want a transport device. Brake device, you can put it at 0.8 Gs or 1 G. I'm probably going to keep it at 0.8 because I feel like it. Actually, I'm going to change it to 0.5. Wait time, I'm not going to mess with that right now. So the station's all good to go. Train fits in there nicely. Perfect. Now we're going to do the lift. On banks right here, you could put the type separator here. However, I'm going to put it right there. Seems like a good spot to put it in for an arrow, I think. Normally, I think arrows would go here. Well, actually, I think I'm going to put it there. That's normally where they would go. Oh, also, the speed comb, wherever it has the speed, that's the speed of the center car, of the very center of the train. So really, it's going 0.4 miles an hour when the center car is here. So the front car is way up here. So it's catching the lift if it's right there. So that's perfect. It's going to catch the lift just fine. So let's go up to the top. And you want to put the chain end kind of right there. Just right after it crests the lift hill. You guys know how arrows go, I'm sure. If you don't know how an arrow lift hill goes, you need to go watch some POVs. And arrow lift hills, it's not going to be super slow. I'm going to put it at 6 miles an hour. Not too terribly slow, but not too terribly fast. And I'm going to put lift 1 because we might end up having a second lift hill. But I'm going to try to keep it simple and not have a second lift hill. And the motors on the arrows are usually at the bottom of the lift, under the lift at a little shed. The lift motors are not at the top. It is not a Vekoma. They are not stupid. They want to be able to easily replace the motor, so they have their motors on the ground. Thank you, Arrow. I'm going to put the acceleration at 1. There's no need for the motor to instantly kick in so fast. This is just some of the little things I worry about. You don't need to worry about it. That part doesn't really matter. So, it engages with the lift at about 10 miles an hour, maybe 12, and then, yeah, it looks good. I like it. It's excellent. Perfect. Alright. My phone's just exploding, guys. I have no idea what's happening right now. But, that's how it be. Oh, well. I got an air looper to make for y'all. Make sure this is still recording just fine. I've been recording for 19 minutes. That's pretty good. I've gotten this far in 19 minutes. That's good, because it gets faster from here. Excuse me. So you're going to unselect speed comb so you can see what you're doing. You want to select that arrow, and you're going to hit. You're going to just go out straight a little bit, and then we're going to start going down. Just so you can make sure you're able to make the drop nice and good. We're going to go down at about a 45-degree angle. It's a little too steep, actually. Let's go out to here. And then you want to flatten it out about like that. We're just doing the shaping right now. It's no big deal. Alright. Hold down Control to select all these. Make straight. That's pretty decent right there. Hit perspective. Select these 3 vertices and depump them. Just kind of might make the shaping of your drop a bit smoother. I think it looks good right there. I like that. It makes it look nice and smooth. As smooth as you want it to be anyway. And we need to go back up to the top of the coaster and put our banking turns here. Also, what did I forget to do? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to lower this turn. That's what I forgot to do. So, don't be like me. Make sure you remember to lower your turn down. Always. So you want to select, we'll do the right side. Basically, all you gotta do is lower it down like that. and then select all of these. Just so it doesn't slow down too much. Okay. Now the coaster won't lose all of its speed that fast. Hopefully. I mean, you can always hope, you know, right? We're just going to depump these all one more time just to make sure they're okay. Depump, 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 depump. Cool. Now we're going to work on the banking. Okay. So right here, it'll be strict. Actually, right here. Strict at 0. Then here, we're gonna go more than it says to do because arrows banking always feels awkward. Once again, I think we're gonna go with 20 degrees. I think sounds good. Yep, 20 seems like the magic number today. Yep, 20 is good. Just every few vertices, you just want to place a 20.
What we do here is go back.
And then you can make it unbank. And that bank should be not, yeah. Whenever you're doing your banking, as long as the banking looks awkward and uncomfortable, see how that looks kind of awkward and uncomfortable when it transitions into the bank? Then that means you're in business, because arrow transitions are awkward and uncomfortable. So that means you're doing it right, okay? If you're making a B&M, no, that is not right. B&Ms are supposed to be done smoothly. So are Intamins. But this, that's perfect. That's an arrow. It's a nice arrow transition. Nice and kind of like a quick, it's kind of like a quick jerk as you're transitioning into a arrow transition. Alright. So, gotta work on this drop right here real quick. Okay. That looks decent. We're gonna highlight these real quick and make the drop a little less steep. Perfect. Now they're all less steep. I think that's a pretty good looking arrow drop right there. Can't get much better than that. All you can really do is insert vertices, which I'm gonna do because that's just how I roll. But you don't want to smooth out the straight part, you just want to smooth out the parts where it's turning. Making sure you're not making red vertices or anything. Boom. Boom. There you go. Ah, you have the drop. So make sure you're at this point. If you ever need to pause during this tutorial, rewind, of course feel free to. It's your computer. This is just a video. Do whatever you need to do. And if you need help, you can email me or go in the comment section. I believe my email is in the description. It should be. If it isn't, that's a problem. But I believe it is there. I will be sure to put it there. Anyway, now it is time for the first inversion. And like I said before, we're doing a custom looper. Except, I said we were going to do like an 80s one, but I changed my mind. We're going to do a 90s one. So, watch and learn. So, we need to start the incline, going up into the loop. It's going to be kind of like Viper or Great American Scream Machine. Except not as good. Kind of, we'll see. So you need to kind of make a slope going upwards, like so, except not as bad. And before you continue on, highlight these vertices and make them smooth. Make sure they're smooth before you continue on. Make sure it's done smoothly. Smoothly enough. See, it's not perfectly smooth. It hits some pretty high G's, but it does not turn red. Nothing goes above 4.5 G's in this case, so that's pretty good. What's our top speed? 59? It's 59.75 is close enough that you would round up to 56 or 60. So cool. So, Thomas, are we going to build a custom loop? No. So how high are we? We can go, I'd say the top of the loop would be around 140. Or, top of the loop will be around 120 feet tall. We're at 99, so delete this last one. We're going to put a loop here. So select that vertice, hit add element. It's going to look funky, but deal with it for a second. Change it to like 35 radius, give it a shot, see how it looks. That's a bit tall. So, delete that vertice right here. Delete the vertice you have selected. Okay. Hit add element. Loop. Try 35 again. Is that about the right height? That's pretty good. Maybe try a smaller loop, actually. Yeah, maybe more like 32 or 30. Alright. 1 second, boys. Alright, everyone. So, after eating some delicious chocolate and doing the dishwasher, I am back. So, yes, we're adding in the loop. So, that looks kind of dumb, doesn't it? Well, of course, it's a prefabricated element. It's supposed to. So, you want to add, hit the speed comb real quick. It goes through that loop at about 14 miles an hour at the top. I don't really like that. So select all of these, and you can kind of scooch it a little bit, because I don't like that speed. Now, let's check it now. It goes through at about 21. That's better. Maybe down one more. One more. It goes through at about 23, 24. I like that. That's much better. So, leave it there. Now we need to delete some vertices until it looks straight. Somewhat straight, anyway. We need to add some in here as well. Okay. Cool. This is how I do my air loopers. I don't know if anyone else does it this way, but this is how I do them. So, you want to delete every other vertice on the loop. So we're going to select every other vertice and then delete it. And this is how you can take a prefabricated loop and make it good. Then you want to delete all those. You can see it looks like the shaping might be a lot better on this than you thought it would be. So highlight the loop, hit depump. Let's see how smooth this loop becomes. Wow, that looks a lot smoother and a lot more like an arrow loop. Yes, it does. And look, none of the G-forces are red. They're all yellow and green. Oh, I can hear the gods singing. Oh, yes. I am the master. Anyway, just keep on depumping. Depump as much as you like. There's never, ever, ever too much depumping. Well, there is, but, you know, whatever. So, look, you have a loop. Ta-da! And it doesn't go too slow. So, let's take an aerial view of what we got so far. First of all, I have a banking problem here. I didn't make this strict, did I? No, I did. I have a different problem then, don't I? Why is it banking? Oh, it's banking because of this loop. Oops, because I deleted the vertices. If you're having weird banking, just kind of before the loop, I guess, put a strict vertice. That's at 0. And now we need to get on the coaster real quick, on the track view, and make sure it looks okay. Okay. Going up through the layout. It's looking good. Epic. I'm gonna do that. Let me try this. That's pretty awesome. Yep, it feels like an arrow. Alright. Now, what you can always do right here is you can always add another loop right here. But I don't know if I want to do another loop right here. I think I want to put a trim brake, and then I think I want it to bank to the left, and then come down lower and do another loop. So that's what I'm going to do. People are just DMing me like crazy, guys. Half the time when I'm recording these, I'm recording and talking to people at the same time. It's weird. Yeah, so keep that in mind. So I believe the first recording was like 25 minutes or something. And this one should probably be around 20 minutes as well, maybe more. So this video is going to be longer than I thought it would be, but that's okay. That is okay. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to start making a turn. These turns aren't going to be very pretty. It's just how it's going to be. So deal with it. Perfect. That's okay. Cool. Want to start lowering it, if you know what I mean. So kind of highlight that and just kind of start gradually making it go down. Back. Cool. It's not gonna go all the way to the ground, but like it's gonna go pretty low. Like right there. Okay. Depump. Cool. Insert vertex. And for some reason it always does that whenever you do it on the last vertex there. You just kind of have to fix it yourself. Make straight. And then you can just start highlighting. And you're just depumping as normal, fixing up the turn, making it as smooth as you can. I'll depump it one more time. And down here we're going to put a double loop. But first we need to put a trim in, I think. A slight trim. So, where do we want to do that? I would say right here. And then we'll put the first, I think the first vertex can be here. Oop, it's going to be about 90 degrees, to be honest. It's going to be, yeah, you need lots of banking here. And that's why we have the trim. This is going to be a very dumb coaster. Because if you have to have a trim to go through, if you have a huge element and then a tiny sharp turn afterwards, it's just, yeah, it's kind of like Viper, but different. This is my own thing, boys. At this point, after the first loop, you can kind of do whatever you want with this turn. You can make it go down farther or whatever. I'm just doing crappy stuff that Arrow would do, because arrows always do stupid stuff like this. So you want to turn that into a break, make sure it's a trim. Put it around 5 Gs and just make it go down to 20 degrees. It doesn't even, or 20 miles an hour, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be able to slow it down that much. First loop, trim. I don't know how many trims I'm going to have on this thing, but I'm going to have a lot. So it's going to hold it pretty much 40 miles an hour. Let's see, what is this at? It goes into the loop at 46. And it's going to be 40. Okay, so the loops down here will be about the same size. And see, as you can tell, it already made the G-forces much better. So I'm only going to go to 70 degrees, I think. Even though it wants me to do 90. But it's an Arrow. They didn't have computers back then. We're good. We're just going to do 20 degrees less than it says to do. Because that's how I do it. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a really jerky ride, but that's okay. It's not supposed to look comfortable. It's an Arrow. This is how you do it. Now, we're going to start working on our next loop. Loops, actually. We're going to do 2 loops, I think. Yeah. And those are going to be 32 radius, I believe. actually go to the left, right? No. We're gonna do 30. 30. We're not gonna mirror it. Boom. Let's see how fast it goes. We want it to be around 20. Yeah, it's too slow. Maybe make it trim less. Maybe we'll put it at 0.4. This is going to be way more intense than I was anticipating. This turn right here is probably going to ruin the whole ride, but that's okay. It's whatever. See how sharp that transition is? That's not good. This right here would be like a Phantom's Steel Phantom. Something like that could ruin the whole ride. Because that is not well made at all. That's not well made. In fact, I think I'm going to change it. Yeah, I'm going to redo that. So we're going to go out one, left one, out one, left one, out one, left one. That's already so much better. Simple stuff like that can really help. Okay, now let's try this again. Depump, depump, not depumping yet actually, but why does it always do this? Ah. Anyway. Let's try depumping this again. This should fix it up a lot. I'm gonna do it twice. Then we need to fix the banking of the track. Do it good this time. Okay. So we can trim it less. Okay. That's so much better. Yeah. Except I need to do it here. And here. Yeah. See, it already looks so much better. It's trimming less, it has a wider turn, it's smoother. We're in business. Now, we can make a loop. We're gonna go for a 30, we're gonna try a radius of 30 first. Speed at the top, well, G-forces are good. Speed at the top is 24, that's perfect. Now we're gonna delete every other vertex from this side, from the back side. Boom. Start with that first vertex because it's a strict vertex, and I hate strict vertices. I never use strict vertices. I hate them. If you notice that I'm not using strict vertices, it might annoy you because I know a lot of people do. Almost everyone actually. I never use strict vertices. I hate them. They're stupid. I don't like them. I've done just fine without them. Alright, so you want to highlight your loop carefully. Don't highlight anything else, just your loop or maybe a piece before it, but don't highlight your station or anything. You can, and we'll highlight the turn here while we're at it. Why not? Can't hurt to do some extra depumping on that turn. Right, depump. Good. Just waiting for the vertices to depump. Depump, depump. Cool. This turn is very interesting, but it's done. It's not as smooth. It's okay. It's still just as smooth as I guess it was. It's still kind of jerky, but it's more spread out, so the G-forces aren't going to kill you. And that's the important part, to be honest. So, yeah. Alright. We got a loop. Let's go. I think we're just going to have one loop here instead of two. And I think now we want to focus on maybe going into like the mid-course. So we'll do that now. I'm thinking about how I want to do that. I'm thinking we're going to do a left turn up over the station. I think that'll be best. So we're going to start with that. Okay. And of course, like I said before, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just doing whatever, just kind of making my own layout in my head, kind of thinking what I can do. I'm gonna try to keep the ride in this from this point. I'm gonna keep this ride in this area. There's gonna be probably it's gonna come out of it's gonna drop out of the mid course, do a double corkscrew, turn around, maybe do a boomerang or maybe an Immelman, and then do a helix and then brakes. Pretty much just like Vortex at Kings Island, just in a different order or a different look. It'll look different. So, yep, creativity, woo. Boom. What's the speed here? There is no speed. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay. Sorry, Mom texted me. Tom's, you can cut that out if you remember to. People never leave me alone. I told them I was busy, and they know I was busy, and they're still bothering me, so thanks. Okay. So, as you know, I use a lot of vertices on my other coasters, but this is just an arrow, so you don't have to use a lot on some things. But on some things you should. But when it comes to just this, nah, not really. You don't need to. This spot right here needs just a lot of smoothing. Oop. Someone liked the comment on that video, which means we are one person closer to making part 2. I just shook my mic, I'm sorry. Oof. Okay. Place of vertice. Yeah. 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 Look at that. Wow. Alright, that looks good enough to me. That banking right there, yeah, it looks fine. Just make sure it's not like, yeah, G-forces are good. So now we just need to make sure we have a mid-course where the train can stop. Brake. MCBR, that stands for mid-course brake run. We'll have it trim at 20 miles an hour. And we'll have it trim at 30. We don't need to stop it, if you get what I mean. But if I did want it to stop, it would stop just fine. Cool. We're gonna have 3 trains on this too, so I just need to check. I wanna make sure it fits. It fits perfectly. Alright. Now we're gonna make our corkscrew, so go ahead and make your drop out of the mid-course. You need about 35 to 40 miles an hour for a good arrow double corkscrew, so just make sure your speed coming out of that drop is about 35, in between 35 and 40. If it's not, you might want to change it. So this is just, you kind of got to play around with that. And now that I have that placed, I am going to start my double corkscrew. I want to make it kind of turn here. Cool. Element. Corkscrew. 12. Don't want to change it. Mirror it so it goes to the left. Add element. Do the exact same thing. Make it slightly smaller. Maybe 12.3. Yeah, slightly smaller. Ah, crap. I didn't mirror it. Okay. Mirror. Boom. And that looks fine to me. I'm gonna rotate it a bit. A slight bit. Rotate. Cool. Just like I've been doing, I'm going to delete every other vertice. It just helps make it all smoother. But you do not want to, on these corkscrews, do not change the roll markers. Leave them the same. They're already perfect for arrow corkscrews. So do not change the roll markers. Don't touch them. Don't move them. Don't change them. Leave them be. The only thing you can mess with is the roll markers going in and out. But do not mess with the roll markers that are a part of the corkscrews. Like, for instance, this roll marker you can screw around with. It doesn't matter if you screw around with this one. And this one. Boom.
What we do here is
I'm going to depump that piece. Cool. And we will fix it in a second. I think we're going through at about 24. Perfect. The hang time you're going to be getting in these are perfect. See, nice low G-forces. Perfect. Very perfect. It's a little bumpy right there, but I'll fix that after I depump it. That's very nice. Next, we are going to do our bat wing. And I know exactly what I'm doing for this one. We're just gonna kind of do a nice gradual turn away from the lift hill structure. Actually, I don't think I want to do a bat wing. I don't know if I want to. I don't think it fits the style of this ride. The loops are pretty casual, and so are the corkscrews. I think we should just kind of meander back to the station. Like, kind of like an Elder custom looper would do. Meandering back to the station is easy. I'm gonna start making this turn really wide. Ba-boom. Okay. Move it down. Okay, that's epic right there. And select all of these vertices, every single one, all of them, until the point that we didn't edit from. And we want, yes, these ones, perfect. So go ahead and depump all of those. We'll do that probably twice, I think. Once or twice, I'm not sure. We'll see. But we'll gotta do it at least once. Almost done. So we're just gonna do maybe a twist, turn, maybe little hills on the way back to the station, and we're gonna do a helix. I think we're gonna do a helix right in here. Epic. So yeah, it's not gonna be like an airtime hill. It's gonna be like a really gradual hill. You guys will see what I mean in a second. Like, it's gonna be really, really gradual. Nothing fancy at all. Really? 59 degrees? Okay. It's kind of steep, don't you think? A very steep bank. This is a very silly coaster. This is one of the silliest coasters I've ever made. I hope your guys' is not as silly as mine, because I've never made an air looper this goofy. This is pretty dang goofy. Can't lie. Let's make sure the G's here are good. They look good. Very nice. Now we're gonna start working on our little airtime hills. I mean, not an airtime hill. It's just gonna kind of be like a dumb little thing. Is there airtime on that? Okay, there actually is a little bit. Well, I don't want to have airtime. And when you're making a helix, you just kind of make a circle. You can make it tighter, because I know we're going to go upwards right here. And this is going to be our brake run. So, this needs to be up high. That all needs to be down low. Pretty epic, guys. Pretty epic stuff. Big epic. I think I'm gonna make it like that. Ha ha ha! I like that a lot. This little thing I did right here. I like that. It's pretty dumb and stupid. Yeah, I like that. It's just kind of meandering, and you just know it's gonna look good when it's done. Okay, now I need to work on the final brake run. Kind of finish up this turn. Connect these, and then add in some vertices to fill them in. So, if your air looper is looking like mine, I'm actually sorry for you because I didn't make this. It's not the best, but like it's whatever. It's fun. I'm happy I made something. Oh my, that looks horrendous. It's all fun. That looks pretty good. It's not always, like, I'm not the best at NoLimits2, but I'm decent now. More decent than I used to be, excuse me. I think these coasters are pretty good. I don't know about you guys. Epic. Basically, now all you have to do is put brakes on the brake run so you don't die. And of course, we're gonna wanna depump all the stuff we just did. So everything from here, pretty much. The nice thing about air loopers is by the time you're at the end, all you want to do is kind of just be done with it. But that works out well because that's what air loopers feel like. It feels like by the time they got to the end of the layout, they're like, put a helix in and some stupid elements, brakes. Yeah, very extremely long brake run and make it painful too. So you got to make the brake run really, really jerky. I'm gonna try something new here. I'm gonna put like a small trim brake at the very beginning, and at the end, it's just gonna slam really hard. Because I want to try this. I'm thinking of Vortex's brake run. I'm thinking of how hard you just slam into it. So that's what I'm going for. Every 2 vertices, I'm just gonna put a vertice point. Because why not? This is just gonna be a nice, silly helix. And I'm not even going to add supports right now. I'm not going to worry about adding supports, because you guys can do that on your own time. I'll do a supports tutorial maybe someday. Right now, I honestly need my own supports tutorial to watch, because I'm not good at supports, I'm just good at the coasters. So, yeah. I'm not even going to put a trim brake here, I'm just going to make it slam into the brake run. Like so. Vertice point, vertice point. Add section, brake run. Gonna make it go to 1 end. 8 miles an hour. Speed. Does it stop fast enough? Yes, it does. Pretty good. I like it. And that is my aero looper, guys. Be proud of me. Get some more. I'm gonna make it so it barely fits in the station. Boom. Okay. That's about it. I'm gonna see if it works. We're only gonna have 2 trains. So the mid-course is pretty much just a trim, I guess, pretty much. Yeah. So I guess let's watch a POV real quick, and I'm gonna let you guys be on your way. This is just me. I mean, even if it's a crappy coaster, you got to see me build certain elements, and it's usually the elements and turns that people need help with. It's the little things. So as long as this video helped you, I consider myself successful. So yeah, we're gonna watch it an unmounted point of view. I'm gonna pull up this little thing here. You can see the speed and the G-forces and all that, if you're into that kind of stuff. Now I'm gonna shut up so you guys can enjoy this really crappy coaster. I'm gonna skip to the top of the lift though. your hands up, guys. Woo! Okay, the first half was actually pretty dang good. Like, I'm proud of that first half. That's pretty good. Let's see how this half turns out. Nice entrance into the corkscrews. Really nice. Nice exit. Pretty nice. And this part is just kind of where I get like, okay, I'm done. I showed them all the elements I need to show them. I'm good now. And it still pretty much feels like an arrow looper. Like, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like, this might be one of the best arrow loopers I've made. I might actually upload this on YouTube. And in fact, I think I will. I think I will upload this. I think it turned out pretty good. I'll have to work on it some more. Hey, if you get a tutorial, and if you get more than one video out of a NoLimits2 coaster, consider yourself lucky. I mean, I was not expecting this coaster to be good at all, and it was actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. It was better than I thought it would turn out. I kind of want to watch it off-ride for a second. I think the drop is the drop is way too gradual. I made it go way too gradual. That's okay. Arrows are dumb anyway. I made the loops a bit too slow as well. Well, that's alright. It's trial and error. I thought the coaster was pretty good from what I saw. But I think the favorite thing is the entrance into the... my entrance into the corkscrew. I think I did pretty well. Oh, it's... see? You know what I forgot, guys? You do know what I forgot? The coaster's still heart-lined. Aha! You need to watch it again while it's not heart-lined. It's going to be a very different ride. Now it's going to be jerky. I was saying, you know, like, why is it so smooth? This ride feels way too smooth. So that would be why. Now let's try it again. See how the pre-lift feels. The pre-lift feels different. The pre-lift looks a lot more realistic now. Oh yeah, that's much better. See how it's has a lot more of that jerk to it. Feels a lot jerkier. So we're gonna watch this front seat POV and then we'll watch a back seat POV, I guess. See how it turned out. Maybe. Nah, we won't do a back seat POV. You guys can watch the coaster when it comes out for all that after all this. Yeah, this is how I get views, guys. Sad. Oh yeah, lots jerkier. Much better. Now it feels like an arrow. Perfect. Oh yeah. Very nice, nice helix. Much better than I thought it would be. Overall, very nice ride. I'm actually pretty pleased with how it turned out. Gotta say. It doesn't happen very often with these tutorial coasters. Very sharp turn into the station. Alright. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you. Maybe not necessarily make a coaster, but at least help teach you how to do certain kinds of arrow loops, maybe arrow transitions, mid-course brake runs, corkscrews, transitions into the corkscrews. And by using these pre-made elements that NoLimits has, you can use those and make pretty much whatever you want, depending on the coaster you use. Some people prefer to do it by hand. I can do them by hand easily, of course. I don't enjoy doing that. I enjoy using these because they have the right shape, and by deleting certain vertices and depumping a certain amount of times, you can make any shape you want, and I think it usually turns out smoother and better that way. So that's how I usually do it. If you have any questions or recommendations or requests for the next NoLimits2 tutorial, let me know. If not, I think I'll be doing a more complicated wooden coaster or like an Aero Hyper, something like that. Let me know what you guys want, and if not, I'll just make another one. Anyway, see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Subscribe. Let's get to 1,500 and 2,000. Our goal for 2019 is 2,000. We can hit it. We got this. Let's do it. So, goodbye, guys. Right on. See you later. Like, share, subscribe. Like I said 5 times already. Bye-bye. Right on.